Welcome to the Government News Brief for Monday, March 21, 2016. In the news, security to be high for Jubilee celebrations, new neighborhood democratic councils to be created, and 4 miles community land issues to be resolved. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. Security is taking top priority for the organizers of Guyana's Golden Jubilee celebrations. Shanazalo reports on what measures are being put in place.
Organizers of the 50th Independence Anniversary celebrations are putting a number of systems in place to ensure the safety of persons attending events. Bobby Vero, the chairperson for the Golden Jubilee celebrations, says preparations are underway to ensure that legitimate participants are involved in carrying out the festivity.
We're asking that everyone be accredited. So what will happen, you literally have to go on our website and fill an accreditation form, an application form, and then you send a picture and you're accredited and you receive a badge, an ID badge, and that badge will show which areas designated.
Vera acknowledges that security is an overwhelming concern and assures that persons involved in security are well experienced.
You know, like any country that is holding a major event or celebrating a major event as our 50th anniversary, obvious security will be of concern. And the Guyana Police Force, the Army, and all the other semi-military agencies will be involved in security.
He also pointed out that a number of head of states are expected to attend the celebration as well. Guyana's 50th Golden Jubilee starts on May 19 and ends on May 22. Shanazalo with this Government News Brief.
Land issues affecting the residents of 4 Mile community in Region 1 may be resolved within 3 months. More in this report.
Residents of the 4 Mile community Region 1 were given the assurance by Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman that their outstanding land issues will be investigated within 3 months.
We will have to continue doing so until such time that a team comes in from Lands and Surveys and from Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs and settles this matter once and for all. Definitively. All I'm saying, let us hold the peace in the meantime. Don't point fingers of who's a this and who's a that and accuse. I know they're going on already. But for my sake, for the President's sake, let us hold the peace. And I am expecting that within a matter of 3 months at the most, not that the process will start, but it will be started and completed.
Minister Trotman, along with Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simona Brooms, and Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Lowe, recently visited the community. Residents expressed concerns over the community being designated as an Amerindian reservation, since 80% of the persons living in the area are non-Amerindians.
This community is a mixed community. Total mix, 80% mix. So that they're forcing us against our will, the previous government. So now we're asking the present government now to come in and investigate this matter so that we could get the rights, the constitution rights.
Every problem has a solution. Obviously you have difficulties here. These are difficulties that we as a government have inherited, but it doesn't make sense to go back and who did what to who. Right now we got to find solutions to an issue. And that's why we're here.
4 Miles is a community located within Port Kaituma Northwest District, Region 1. It has a population of about 1,500 people. For the Government News Brief, Sinika Thorne reporting.
The Foreign Affairs Ministry is currently reviewing honorary councils overseas with a view of making the necessary adjustments. Here is that story.
Rationalizing the list of honorary councils is one of the priorities of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
One has at this point in time to decipher why some of the people who have been appointed by the PPP have been appointed, why some of the places that have been the locations of honorary consulates have been chosen. What is their link to Guyana? What do they do for Guyana? What can they do for Guyana? What commercial dimensions does the person have an interest in? What does he know of Guyana? What use has he made of the office since he's been appointed? Those questions we are working on with a view to rationalizing the list.
The honorary consul is a Guyanese living in a foreign country who represents Guyana's interest in that country. It is an honorary position in that no salary is attached to the position.
If you're a professional, a doctor, or a lawyer, or you're in commerce, it becomes easier for you to provide that service because you already got the overheads. You've got office space. You devote some part of it for Guyanese to come and request your assistance. You might have to write to the police, or you might have to go to the police station or the lockups or the courts or hospital, a range of functions.
It was explained that the honorary consul must also have the time to make representations. He or she must also have the support of an officer who can provide office services such as answering the telephone, collecting and returning passports, and other services. Guyana has 13 ambassadors and high commissioners and the 38 honorary consuls worldwide. For this government news brief, I am Glendon Greenidge.
The government plans to establish community radio stations in the hinterland. This is to ensure that persons residing in the hinterland are able to access information on what is happening at the national and regional levels. More in this report.
Georgetown is not the 83,000 square miles of Guyana, and that our first people deserve to be attended to by all and through all media, including now the satellite connection.
That was Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo. The Prime Minister has responsibilities for the public information and communication sector. 2 new community radio stations will soon be established. One will be in Mabaruma Region 1 and the other in Latam Region 9. This comes as the administration moves to bridge the communication gap between the hinterland and coastal regions in Guyana. These 2 community radio stations will boost the service offered by Radio Paramac, which serves mainly communities in the Rupununi area. Currently, this station is Guyana's only community radio station.
The Radio Paramac is up and running and is looking forward to the other 2 stations that will be coming on stream very early, and that's Radio Lethem and Radio Mabaruma. And so we are prepared to take the lead, so to speak, being the first community radio of this wonderful country of Guyana, and we are hoping to stay on top as the #1 community radio.
Radio Paramac serves over 65 indigenous communities. It is located at the Bina Hill Institute in Anai, Region 9. Most of the broadcast is done in regional Amerindian dialects. For the Government News Brief, Paul McAdam.
The Ministry of Communities has announced that it would soon demarcate several new neighborhood democratic councils. Here are the details.
Minister of Communities Ronald Vulcan announced the ministry's decision at a press conference at the Ministry of the Presidency on Saturday. He explained that the decision was aimed at ensuring that every person living within the boundaries of Guyana has the opportunity to cast their vote at the next local government election. Less than 50% of registered voters turned out to vote in the country's first local government elections since 1994.
There are a few communities in our country that are not currently an NDC area or have a local government organ or are a local government area. Principally, we have the area along the Suzdijk-Linden Highway from Yarrow Cabra to all the way to Linden, which has never been made into local government areas. And it has been identified that now that these elections have been held, it is intended that the boundaries will be demarcated and NDC and local government areas will be created along that stretch.
Broxton in Region 10 and several other mixed communities in the hinterland are among those affected. They have been calling to be made into NDC areas.
Only a fortnight ago, Minister State and I were at Court Brad on the East Bank Babis, and they were asking to be included in an NDC. So they're communities, rural communities, which are not entitled to vote, so they couldn't vote. Although they were in the general regional list, they were not on the. They were not able to vote yesterday.
Last Friday, residents of Lethem were able for the first time to vote in local government elections. This is a result of that community being made a town. 2 other communities, Mabaruma and Bardika, were also recently named as towns. Currently, not a single neighborhood democratic council or municipality exists in Region 8, and as such, residents in that region could not take part in the recent election.
This has been another edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the Government News Brief along with all other GNA programs on our website. Please subscribe to our website and YouTube channel and like us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow, March 22, 2016 for another edition of the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.